Boo. Yeah, it's me, Miss Jackie Russell, and it's Happy Mass Monday on October 27th. And of course, Halloween will be this Friday. So I'm doing my Mass Monday all decked out for Halloween. Got my little dress on that has the pumpkin face on it. And I'm all set to go. Got on my ghost mask. This is an animated facial mask, pore refining egg white mask from Spa Life, and I got this in my Halloween mystery box from Single Swags. So we're going to have a little fun today with that. And then on my lips, I have Lancome's Juicy Tubes Original. And I really like this. It's real thick and emollient for my lips, and it stays on there for a while. And this seems to be a really nice mask. And I've already did a little small walk this morning, not a full 30 minutes or anything, but I got a little in, and I've got my coffee. Now, I've changed my coffee to a power coffee, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I want to welcome you all to my channel. If you're new here, I want to ask you to subscribe and have a little fun with me today. We are going to have some friend mail, we're going to have some empties, and we're going to have some empties of products, of vitamins and things like that that I take, as well as my beauty products and reviews on those. And we're going to have Beauty Inside Out, and that is a devotional, and we're going to be on tip number 3 of the soak. So we got lots to go over today. How are you doing? Did you have a great weekend? We had a pretty good weekend. The weather did rain kind of a lot on Friday and Saturday, but we didn't have any scary rain, just normal thunderstorms. It was kind of nice, and I like that. And we did need the rain, so that part was good. And what do y'all think about my mask? I like this little boo mask. Yeah, I don't usually have very many animated masks, so this is really nice. Now, I'm going to start off telling you I went on my walk. And again, if you're new here, hit that like button if you like what you see, or a thumbs down. It'll help the algorithms either way. And be sure and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know my next video. But anyways, did y'all watch my video yesterday, Sunday, about my dream? Yeah, I finally put that out there. And I know it was a long time, but I had a lot to go through after that because it was so real. And I went through a lot of changes. And of course, it took a long time before I even shared it with you guys. And I think now you might can understand why it took that long. Maybe not. But I think God was turning me a different direction. So, and it takes time. That's something you need to know. It takes time with the Lord. But anyways, if you got to watch that, I'm thankful. And you can, of course, comment on it. And I am going to have a part 2 or another segment about what I thought it meant. And that'll be coming out this coming Sunday on, I guess, what is that, November 2nd. So be on the lookout for that. I did want to tell you now about my power coffee. I've started walking a lot more because I went to the doctor and I had a bone density test, and much to my surprise, all my bones are good except my left femur, of all things, and it's high risk for, they call it osteopenia. I guess that means you're not in osteoporosis, but you might be headed that direction, and they considered it to be, I guess, serious enough that they put me on some calcium, and they've got me on weight bearing and walking. So I'm doing a lot of that now. And because I'm walking, I found this recipe, so to speak. I call it my power coffee, that helps your joints and everything move good and give you energy and all that kind of stuff. And I put this in my coffee. I have my cup of coffee, and then when I start on my second cup, I power it up with like a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of turmeric, like a teaspoon of cocoa, like dark cocoa, and a scoop of collagen, a teaspoon of coconut oil, You put black pepper in there too, because the black pepper helps the turmeric to absorb 5,000 times more than it normally would. And I stir it all in, and you can add other stuff. Sometimes I put an egg protein shake, scoop in there, and I might put a little dash of milk in there, so you can add a little bit more. But anyway, today the first ones that I mentioned is what I have in it. It gives the coffee a different flavor. Now I go black all the way. I don't use any sugar, so it makes it flavored. Oh, and I've gone to organic coffee. I don't do flavored coffees anymore because I learned that they are like full of contaminants and toxins, so especially for your gut. So I have switched to Pete's pretty much for the organic. There's a couple other ones that are organic that I pick up here and there from Fair Trade. But anyways, I've switched my coffee, which has been an adjustment. And also because of my cortisol, I'm having I guess like a tea in the morning, which consists of lemon, apple cider vinegar, and pink salt. I have a warm cup of coffee or 1 cup of tea or whatever like that in the morning. And then I don't actually drink my coffee now for like an hour and a half, because that's when you should, I guess that is the best time to drink your coffee according to doctors. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm doing because I'm trying to get things back into fitness level for me. And I'm rambling and taking up time here when we got so much to do. Do y'all have plans for the Halloween? Are you taking your kids out, your grandkids? Are you going to be giving out candy? We'll probably have a quiet Halloween because we live out in the country. Nobody will come by, and the kids are all older. So, yeah, we won't be doing any of that. Some of the younger ones might go trick-or-treating. Well, let's get on to the friend mail. I got some more postcards from Plushback Fan, and he sent me this one first. And it looks like 2 little, maybe Cocker Spaniels, perhaps? I'm not sure. Maybe Beagles, but I don't know if Beagles have long coats, so, and they could be long coat Dachshunds. But anyway, there's nothing on here to indicate what kind's on there. But I got this postcard from him, and they're having their dinner or their brunch. Hard to say, but they definitely are having something there to eat. And then he's sent me this Soviet space dogs, and this looks like Jack Russell's. And there's nothing on there either, just from our friends, Dream Big Productions, Plushback Fan. And he does have a channel. He has Hello Kitty on his channel, and they're little cartoon, like, educational videos, about 3 to 5 minutes. And then he has Sonic Hedgehog on his post page, and if you scroll down a ways, you'll see musical watches of Hello Kitty. But he's a big fan of Hello Kitty. If you are too, well, then go over and check him out. And then he also has past games, like he had like mathematician games on there for the longest time. So you can go back and look at some of his old videos too. But thank you very much, Plushback Fan. And if you don't know him and you head over there and you subscribe, be sure and let him know Miss Jackie Russell sent you over. All right, now let's get on to my empties. I am going to go with this first one. I've got 2 left in here. And this was from the Primal Queen. And this is their Goddess Cretin Bites. And I'm going to go ahead and take these last 2. They're supposed to take 5, but I saved 2 so you can see what they look like. I'm going to chew them up. And they taste like watermelon. And what they do is they are good for your muscles, for strength, for endurance. Not sure what that one is there, what it says. And then it's delicious and clean ingredients. Now, I don't take creatine on a regular basis, and I know it's good for you, especially if you're working out. So if you are trying to build your muscles, get strength and endurance, then these would be a good choice. It's a big jar, and you take 5 of these a day, like I just showed you. I'm chewing it up now. And they do taste good, and they probably have helped me build a little muscle. But I don't really lift heavy weights, so I can't say that it's done a whole lot. But I do think it's helped me strengthen up a little bit and not have so much flabby underneath here. Still need to work on it, and I am, but it has helped. So that is a good thing. And then the next thing that I have from Primal Queen that I am using, and I do have I think 25% off link down in my description if you're interested in this. I use the Primal Queen. I'm on like my 5th month, and I do see benefits to this. And it is for energy, it's for helping your hormones, it's gluten free, and it's beef organ superheroes or super dods, and it's non GMO. And like I said, I have told y'all previously that this has worked well, and I know several of you are on this and that you have had some benefits too. It's really helped, like, I would have to say, my hot flashes at night sleeping. So it's really helped my hormones. And I take 1 capsule after lunch and 1 with my meal at dinner time. So that's when they suggest to take it. And it's much better than eating liver if you don't like liver and things like that, because that's where you get your best organ nutrients. Now, if you like those, then I would suggest eating those. But if you don't, like me, and you want to make sure you're getting the nutrients, then you can order Primal Queen. You can get 25% off your whole order if you want to get the creatine for building up your muscles and energy, or if you want to get both. But anyway, let's move right along. I did the Lumi Matcha Energy B12 gummies. I love these. I get them from FabFitFun, and I've been real pleased with the outcome of this. And I started these when I was having the B12 deficiency, and my lips were like in the corner of your lips, and you start having like rawness through there and they're bleeding or whatever. That's usually a sign of B12 deficiency. This cured that and helped that along. Very happy about that. I got a bottle of turmeric with Bioptomizers, which I think that's pretty much black pepper. And so I guess that's what black pepper's official name is. But anyway, I take this, and I take turmeric on a regular basis. This was a brand that I got from my Humana Plus store. It's called, I don't know, Wellness Pharmacy or something, that I could get with my free dollars that I get to spend from there. So I don't know that you could find this brand anywhere on Amazon or anywhere, but I took them. There is a brand that I am taking from Amazon that I've shown before. Now I started taking red yeast rice and CoQ10 because, as I told you earlier, my test came back that I had high LDL and low HDL, and this will help balance those out along with what I'm doing with my exercise and what have you. So it's raspberry flavored. I take 2 of these a day, and I don't know if they're working yet or not, but it says cardiovascular, heart, and cholesterol. So that's why I'm taking that. And then, of course, I finished another magnesium breakthrough. I actually finished 3 altogether, so it's been a while since I've did a empties on this, but I'm on a subscription for this. I get 3 bottles every quarter, and I really love this. It's got 7 forms of magnesium, and if your doctor tells you you need to get a good magnesium with all these magnesiums in there, then I highly recommend this. And I have a link for this down in my description, and I think you can save 10%. It might be more, I don't know. And if you can find a better deal, then go for it. Okay, I finished off a couple of bottles of my Paley Pomeroy, and this is Pomeroy Nutrition Metabolism T423 Thyroid Targeted Formula for Hair, Skin, and Nails. Now, I have thyroid disease, I have hyperthyroidism, so I do have to take thyroid medicine every day, and I take this along with it. Maybe not necessarily at the same time, but I take it and it helps, I guess, enhance and work with the body well. And I've seen the difference, so that's why I get this. And her products are not cheap, I'll have to tell you. This bottle's probably around $40, and I try to buy it in a pack. Now, I started taking estrogen, and it says for weight management, but I really started taking it for menopause relief. And, I don't know, I think it has helped, because I've also taken the Primal Queen. So I don't know. I really don't know. And it also says it helps with lean muscle. So, I mean, technically, this is going to help me with my goals. But I do take this every day. It's natural with the black cohosh and metabolic herbal extract. So I got that going on. I finished another olive leaf extract, 500 milligrams. This is great to take for free radicals before you eat. So you can take one capsule before one of your main meals, and it'll help remove free radicals out of your system. And olive leaf is also good for people who have asthma and stuff. There's quite a few benefits to olive leaf, but that's the main reason I take it. And then I started taking the cranberry probiotic gummies for myself and my husband, because this helps with UTIs and or to prevent. And it not only has the probiotics and the cranberry in it, but it also has, and I don't know how you pronounce that for sure, but I'm going to say D-mannose. And it's got 25 milligrams of that. That has been proven to help prevent UTIs and help people that if you get them on a regular basis, it'll help cut them down. Okay, I think that's all my vitamin stuff that I'm on right now, or that I finished up. So let's move on here. And I did finish or do use a bleach alternative that I got from Grove, 2 pods, and it worked great. I used it with my dog pet toys, and it worked out really good for that. I finished up a diabetic skin soothing lotion, and this here I use on my feet each morning, and or a lotion or cream, usually a cream, to keep my feet soft and nourished. So I do that every day. It's almost like having a mask on your feet every day. So I may not wear a mask on my face every day, but I mask my feet every day with that. In the morning right now, they're actually still in their little wrap with my socks. Now I finished off this body butter, coconut milk, vitamin E, moisture body cream, and it was really nice. I got this from Temu, but it had a nice scent and it worked well. So, I mean, it's in comparative to some of these other body butters, and it smelled really good. I finished a Chi Rose Hip Protecting Conditioner, Color Nurture. And, I've had this for years, and it took me a long time to use it all up. But I finally got it used up, and I was kind of happy about having it all used up. There just comes a point where you just want to have things used up, and I definitely used up quite a few things. I did use up a Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Dry Shampoo. This is a very good dry shampoo if you're interested. I like it, and it works well. And I have repurchased their products before, and I do use Olaplex dry shampoo too. And this is just another one of those diabetic soothing lotions that I use on my feet. I finished up a Josie Marin whipped argan oil, and I love this. It's probably my favorite body butter. It was vanilla fig. So this is the typical one that you see like in FabFitFun. I haven't seen it lately though. I did not finish this pawpaw. It just kind of got rank smelling, the Dr. Pawpaw. So yeah, that stinks, and I'm throwing it out. I'm not going to use it. And I probably just had it too long, so it probably wasn't the product's bad. It's just that I kept it too long. And then I used up a Honey Jarrett Clean Whip Cleanser. Oh, and I love this. This stuff smells so good. It has a nice scent. It cleans your face. I kept this in the showers where I used it, and I don't know if I got it out of Glossy Box or one of them other, or might have got it out of a calendar, an advent calendar. And I finished up the Brazilian Bum Bum cream, which I did get out of an advent calendar, and I don't really know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. But anyway, it's this brand, Soul something, and I know everybody loves this, and it does have a strong scent, but to me it's a nice scent, so I enjoyed it. And let's see, I used up my Avant, and this was really good. This is a niacinamide triptide hyaluronic meadow foam tocopherol shea butter, and I really liked it. Let's see, does it say night cream? Protectant complex restructuring niacinamide defense serum. So no, this was a serum, but anyway, I really liked it, and I got it out of my advent calendar from Avant, and I really liked it. Oh, and this is a Peter Thomas Roth, and this was really good. It's called the Instant Firm No Filler Primer. I really enjoyed this primer and would probably repurchase it if I wanted to spend that much money for a primer. It was really good. And I got this, I think, out of the Macy's box. And the last thing I have in here, in this part of my compartment, is my Estee Lauder Revitalizing Supreme. And this is my favorite moisturizer. I use it the most over all moisturizers. So, of course, I have it emptied out a lot more often. But it is a youth power cream. It's got lots of emollients and things in it to nurture your skin. And like I said, I just really love it. So, and I'm a big Estee Lauder fan, as y'all know. And let's see what else I have in here. I did use up one of my Prime Lash, and this is mascara, and I used up the blue, and it's very good nutrients, has lots of vitamins in it. This mascara nourishes your eyelashes and helps them grow. Just the mascara itself will do that, and that's what I've used on my eyelashes. And I do have a link and a code. Miss Jackie Russell will save you 15% if you want to buy anything from Prime Prometics, their Prime Lash Mascara, and I have been using their serum, and it's great. It works. So I know their products are really good, so I really like them. Now, I did use some eye mask. I did the EVO Skin Pink Perspective Eye Mask with Collagen Boost, Depuffing, and Replenish. Worked great. I used the Medicube PDRN Pink Collagen Gel Mask, and not porn. As I always kind of say in that little joke, but this was good, but it was a gel mask. You need to be sitting still to have this. I used this one from Kim, and it was great. I really liked it. I think it's a Farmer's or something. I tore the name off, so I don't know the exact name, but it was a great moisturizing mask. The Formula Z mask was an eye mask, and it worked really great. And I used a Wrinkle Smooth, and this was a sheet mask that I got from T, from Winning, off of her channel, TEA. And the Diana Madison mask is wonderful, but it's very expensive, and I got this out of my Macy's box. And another one that's wonderful and very expensive is the Dr. Jart. And I got this, I think, out of FabFitFun. So I got it at a reduced price. And then I had some eye gels that had the little ladybugs on there. Danielle or Denali, I'm not sure. But anyway, I used that, and I got these from Kim, from hanging out with Kim. And I got a Brighten Me Up. And this was a Rice Elation sheet mask. And this came from Michelle from Wavy Like the Ocean. And she has sent this over to me. It's K Beauty. And Michelle, I loved it. It was a great mask. And it brightens your skin. And it was a good mask. And Michelle, if you don't know Michelle, both hanging out with Kim. She has a channel on YouTube, and Wavy Like the Ocean has an Instagram, and she keeps you posted on Dollar Tree and Dollar General, all kind of haul and sell prices. So go over and check her out and subscribe, and Kim too. I used some Wander Beauty Baggage Claim Gold Eye Mask, and those were great, my favorite. And then I used a Nuogen Probiotic Relief Mask, and this was really good. Another good brand from Korea. And then I used another Dr. Jart Cicapair, and that is not really sure, but it has intensive soothing repair serum, and it's a complex serum. It was a good mask. I enjoyed all the masks that I used, so I would recommend all of them. So on the gel mask, though, you do have to realize you're going to have to sit still, so keep that in mind. And those are my empties. So I know that was a long trail of empties, and now we're going to go right into the inside out. And I've been doing the devotionals every Monday, and before we get to that, I'm going to take my mask off. I've been on here 28 minutes. I don't know. This is going to be a very long video, so I hope y'all will bear with me. If you're not interested in watching the devotional part, then I just want to say thank you for being with me, and don't forget to use your emojis, the jack-o'-lantern or the black cat or any cat, a pumpkin, whatever, for this month of October for the Jubilee gifting. You must be 18 years or older and have an address in the continental USA, and I'll be choosing those winners the 1st of November and announcing them in the first Mass Monday. So I guess that's next week probably. So now you know. But you do need to watch my videos, like them, and make a comment in a sentence with the emojis, not just an emoji, to be eligible. But anyways, we're going to do The Beauty Inside Out by Bessie Hicks. And this here is with Bessie Hicks, and she's got a friend helping her, Annie Smith. And we're in tip number 3, and this is of the soak. We've been soaking up fleshly wise in the bathtub with magnesium and nutrients and Epsom salts and things like that, but we're also soaking up the Spirit of the Lord, and this is His presence prepares you. Once the hot water penetrates your tense muscles and the aroma from the bath bomb begins to ease your thoughts, your body and your mind will relax. All this, and you haven't done anything except sit and soak. When your mind becomes free from the worry, you are now prepared to pray effectively. Fear and worry will hinder your faith and will make your prayer life unfruitful. By spending time with Him, you will be relieved of your burdens. In Matthew 11:28, Jesus gives an invitation. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Some people think of prayer as a task, as something they have to do. Yet prayer is a privilege, something we get to do. Do you feel that spending time with someone you love is difficult? No, it's a pleasure. Start thinking about prayer as time spent with someone you love and respect, someone who loves you in return and has the answer to any problem you may have. It will change your whole attitude about your prayer time. I think that's really good advice, because prayer is your straight line to God. And when you're trying to get closer to God or want to feel more of His presence, it is a wonderful way to do that. So that is some very good advice. Prayer is just not us talking to God, but also taking time to listen to Him. It's not a monologue, and that's true. When one person does all the talking, but a dialogue where more than one person speaks, we should anticipate a response from God. We bring our praise, our worship, and our petitions before Him, and He will respond. When we think about prayer from this perspective, we do a lot less talking and a lot more listening. The believer prayer should become as natural as breathing. No one has to tell you to breathe. It should be enjoyable talking to the Lord about everything and remaining in constant fellowship with Him throughout our day. But prayer has to start somewhere. This is why the secret place is so important. When Jesus instructed His disciples how to pray, and He told them, "Go in and shut the door." The purpose of this shut door is to shut out distractions. He said this because He knew how easily we become distracted, like a Martha, and we can all relate to that. This doesn't mean we aren't to ever pray in public, but we have to understand the value of private prayer. Prayer in private, and God will reward you openly. It will take time to shut the door. Sit quietly and hear Him. It will become easier to recognize His voice throughout our day. Spending time in His presence also prepares us for the plan He has for us in our lives, and I'll have to agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Esther 2:12 talks about the preparation Esther went through in order to go before the king. The preparation took time and could not be rushed. She went through 12 months of soaking, scouring, and polishing. When she appeared before the king, she found favor in his sight. That favor was used to save her people. You never know what God is preparing you for while you're spending time with Him. Whatever it is, if you faithfully take time in His presence, you will be ready for what lies ahead. And I'll have to say that's true, and I have found that to be very comforting as well. And spending time with the Lord has really helped me, especially with that dream that I had. Reflection, a lot of reflection and listening and waiting a long time to even share it with you guys. This is an analogy story. One morning, I was sitting in my prayer chair, soaking in the presence of God. I was quietly praying in the Spirit when all of a sudden a man in a runaway truck came crashing through the trees, the fence, and into my backyard. His truck stopped a few feet short of my pool. My time in the presence of God allowed me to stay calm and continue to pray as I ran to help the man, who was unconscious. I tried to witness to him, but he was very confused and could barely hear me. As the ambulance whisked him away, I thought I would never see him again, but 2 months later a knock came to the door. It was Jack, the man who crashed in my yard. I told him in detail the story of his accident and how God had miraculously spared his life. I believe that while I was speaking in the presence of God that day, He had me begin to pray in the Spirit and intercede for Jack. The Lord prepared me for what was about to happen. I told Jack the unbelievable course of events that landed him safely in my backyard could only be explained as the grace of God. I began to witness to him again. This time his mind was clear and his heart was overwhelmed by what God had spared him from. Jack couldn't remember anything about that morning. Not the crash, my house, or even the paramedics, but he remembered one thing, me telling him about Jesus. Because of my time spent soaking that morning, there was an undeniable presence of the Lord surrounding me. It was so powerful that the Spirit of the Lord was able to penetrate Jack's mind, even though he was in such a state of confusion. Right there on the back porch, Jack and I held hands and prayed as he received salvation. Now, the daily reflection of this chapter 2 of the Soak is we need to read Luke 10:38 through 42. Which sister do you most identify with, Mary or Martha? And I think I told y'all I identified mostly with Martha, and I'm trying to be more like a Mary. Then read Proverbs 3:24. What does the verse promise concerning rest? Well, I think if you find rest, you will find peace in your soul. But I'm not sure if that's the answer. I need to reread that. And then read Ephesians 2:10. What could God be preparing you to do today? And for me, I think He is prepping me to get myself back on track, which I'm doing, and also to speak to you and others about the love of Jesus and what God has done for us and the sacrifice so that we can all have salvation in Jesus Christ, because times are short. And now is the time, it seems. Anyways, the application for this is soaking in the presence of God is an absolute necessity for a long lasting relationship with Him. Remember the words of Jesus: one thing is needed, this one thing, sitting and soaking at the feet of Jesus. Amen. I believe that is needed for fellowship with Him and rest for you. And it benefits those around you, as we can see with Jack. There are so many other benefits from spending time with the Lord, but they could never fit into one book, much less one daily study. You never know what spending time in His presence is preparing you for. If you are willing to draw close to Him, He will draw close to you. Prepare and, most importantly, make time. You might want to have a Bible, a notebook, or some worship music. Whatever you do, don't rush while you're soaking. Be patient in His presence. He's always patient with you. And that's so true. And as I reflect on this, I've always mentioned this to people, that the Bible, when you're reading God's Word, it's like the Word is mirroring back to you in your soul of God, the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit. It is in you. It's coming in. If you allow it, you believe in Jesus Christ, it will do that for you. And feeding the soul is through the Word. And the Word of God is like sharper than any two-edged sword, which we've talked about before. And it fills your heart, it fills your body and mind, and it helps you be in a righteous state with God. None of us have earned, none of us can earn. There's nothing you can do for salvation. The only way is through Jesus Christ and believing that He is the Son of God and that His blood covers you and that your sins are washed away, and that through God He looks down and He can see you pure white as snow as Jesus, because Jesus took all that sin upon Him on the cross. And He died, but He did resurrect 3 days later. The only prophet, if you want to say, that's ever come back to life, resurrected and ascended to heaven. So keep those things in mind and reflect on that. And I want to say next time we will be starting day 3, which, remember, we're just doing one little tip per Monday. And our tip number 1 will be exfoliating prevents breakouts. So we'll find out more about that next week. And I just want to thank you all. I have really enjoyed this. And I am praying for those of you that have asked me for prayers. For whatever they are, I have been praying for you, and I will continue. And I pray things are going well in the situations that you've asked for. And, we all, as a combined family, pray together for each other for lots of things. So, that's what God's, He's there for us, and we just have to reach out to Him. But belief is a big factor. God wants us to believe in Him and what He can do for us and what He has already done for us. Well, so we should always be praising God. But next week we'll go more into that. And I know this has been a very long video, so I'm going to finish this up. And I've already told you to be sure and use your cat emojis and or your jack-o'-lantern pumpkin to enter the Jubilee. But let me know what you think about Bessie's lesson today and what we talked about. And can you relate to that? And do you soak? Do you soak in the tub? Do you soak the Spirit? Do you sit in quiet time with Him? Have you had a miraculous thing happen because you have been so in tune with the Lord, and then something happened and you're able to help someone else like she did with Jack? Well, those are all things I would like to know if you have anything to mention. And if you liked any of my empties, let me know. And if you have any questions about any of the ones that I've shown, then let me know that as well. And let me know if you would consider the little power coffee recipe. I got this from a doctor when the caption was walking after 40. And I'm way over 40, so I thought, okay, I might need to find out about this power coffee. And I don't even know which doctor it was. It was one on YouTube. But I can say that it has really helped, and I've been able to do the walking quite a bit. So I'd say it's a good thing to do. And I know the nutrients, like the cinnamon, is good for your blood sugar. And if you have diabetes or something, it's good for that. And I know the turmeric is good for helping your joints and movement and inflammation in your body. And then the cocoa is just a great antioxidant. And of course, coconut oil has the MCT oil in it, and that's great for your triglycerides and your cholesterol. And of course, the pepper I told you about is to help absorb the turmeric. So that's in there for that reason. So anyways, and the collagen, of course, is good for your skin, but it's also good for your muscles and bones and ligaments to strengthen them. So all that works together, and I'm having it in my little coffee. So you let me know if that would be something you're interested in. But as for today and my Mass Monday, that's all I have. Thank you, Plushback Fam, for my friend mail. And thank you all for watching today. And I hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween. And as usual, I wish you all a blessed and happy day. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, this mask was great. My face feels wonderful. So I would have to say Spa Life did a good job. All right, now that's it. Y'all have a blessed day.